Hey guys, it's the Coaster Battleman here, bringing you an awesome video. Canada's Wonderland Decade Plan. This is my opinion on what Canada's Wonderland should do in the next 10 years. New for 2017, they're adding a new flat ride called Soaring Timbers and some new trapdoor slides for their water park. So this is my predictions for what they will add in the next 10 years. In 2018, next season after the 2017 season, I think they will get a B&M Launched Wing Coaster named Ziz. Now there are two possible locations they could use, or they can use both spots. There's an area where Time Warp is, and where their Vekoma SLC flight deck is, and there's some other service buildings that they could use. They can relocate them and then build the B&M Wing Coaster there. And I think it will be launched. So they can make like a square type layout where the brakes are on one part and there's a launch on one part and then the two other parts have the inversions. But that's just me thinking. But if they wanted to make a massive launched B&M Wing Coaster that could be considered possibly the best coaster at Canada's Wonderland, they could put use this piece of land under their flight deck and Time Warp are, not where Time Warp and flight deck are, where the other spot that you can see, it's like an octagon type shape. They could use that piece of land to make this B&M Wing Coaster super long, give it 7 inversions, maybe even 8 inversions if they wanted to go all out. I think this would be an amazing coaster for Canada's Wonderland, but the only problem with it would be for the whole Cedar Fair chain. It would be probably the only major steel coaster if they had 8 inversions, but if it had 4 or 5 inversions, I think they could add a GCI. In 2019, I think Planet Snoopy will be expanded in this season for 2019. Because it would have been some time since they last have gotten a Planet Snoopy expansion or a new family ride, which was 3 years back in 2016, so the kids need some new rides. Let's move on to 2020, where they will get some family rides. I think Canada's Wonderland will have a step down after that B&M Launched Wing Coaster and focus on the younger ones and families who aren't into roller coasters. And 2021, I think this will be a pretty nice year for Canada's Wonderland. It'll be one of those 1-2 punch type years with the water park and the dry park. I think they will get an enterprise ride, but not your standard enterprise like this one. A second generation enterprise ride that Six Flags installed to Six Flags Over Texas last season. And they'll also possibly get a kiddie splash pad, which those are nice attractions for little kids and babies who really like to play in the pool. I think this would be a nice fit for Canada's Wonderland. But in 2022, this will be the big year. It would have been just 4 years since their B&M Launched Wing Coaster, Ziz. But I could go farther back to 5 years later they could do this. But I think in 2022, Wild Beast will be RMC'd. I could have said Son of Beast right there, but I said Wild Beast. I stopped myself right there. You guys get it? No. But moving on, Wild Beast is a terrible wooden coaster, and it's known for being very rough and not that enjoyable. It's unbearable, and which makes the ride pretty bad. They could do tons of good stuff with this ride. Give it an 80-degree drop, give it super awesome airtime, inversions, and airtime, and bank turns. They can make this a super cool ride and one of the best coasters at Canada's Wonderland. If this plan were to come true so far, Wild Beast as the RMC version, a B&M Launched Wing Coaster, Leviathan, Behemoth, and their Aero Suspended Coaster called Vortex would be in their top 5. To me, that seems like a good top 5 after quite some time. But let's move on to 2023. After RMC Wild Beast, This is the year where not anything major will really come to this park. It'll be one of those Dorney Park type things that Dorney Park is getting for 2017 with park improvements and a pavilion, maybe some new restaurants, but nothing too big. In 2024, I think it'll be another smaller year with Planet Snoopy being expanded. It'll be good for the kids. Let's move on to 2025. In 2025, I think this will be a big year. A water park expansion with some new slides that exist 10 years from now, plus a new flat ride, like one of those Aero 360 flat rides, or the flat rides that are popular in the 2020s, like if there's a new flat ride that has came out, and tons of parks are buying it. But let's move on to 2026, where Dragonfire will be removed, and Canada's Wonderland will get some family rides in other locations, but Dragonfire would still operate for its 45th and final season operating at Canada's Wonderland from 1981 to 2026. That's a pretty long time, but eventually its age caught up to it, and now it will have to be removed for something even better. To me, this is the next generation aerodynamics looper, the RMC T-Rex track looping coaster. I think this will come in 2027. You may be mad at me for predicting, oh, RMC Wild Beast, oh, RMC T-Rex looping coaster. Cedar Fair ain't working with RMC, but I think Cedar Fair is going to be working with RMC from 2017 and onward. They're going to remove their old aero loopers that are not that good or not that large, and they're going to put in these amazing RMC T-Rex looping coasters. With this RMC T-Rex looping coaster, make it 100 feet tall, give it a 90-degree drop, give it 4 inversions, several bank turns, and airtime hills. I think that would be an amazing ride at Canada's Wonderland. And if this plan were to come true, their top 5 would be, at probably number 5, would be their B&M Launched Wing Coaster. Probably their 4th best ride would be this RMC T-Rex looping coaster. Their 3rd best ride would be the RMC Wild Beast. Number 2 would be probably Behemoth, and the best would be Leviathan. Maybe it's just my opinion, but that's probably my opinion on it. I could put the T-Rex looper at number 2 if this plan were to come true. But I think 6 out of the 16 or 17 roller coasters that Canada's Wonderland would have, I think this would be a solid coaster lineup if Canada's Wonderland were to do this. But so far, as of now, the only 2 coasters that are truly great rides at Canada's Wonderland are Vortex, Leviathan, and Behemoth. But I hope this plan comes true. But thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.